Hi guys, it's Matt here from Oathwire, and I've got a special guest today. You may know him from, well, everything that North Star does actually. He paints it. So I'd like to introduce Kev to everybody. Kev, say hi to everybody.
Hi, hi, I'm Kev. Yeah, I don't quite paint everything for North Star. It would be nice if I did, but yeah, that's me. It's
Okay,
nice
brilliant.
to speak to you guys here today.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Nick reached out and asked if you would like, because I was asking for some guests, and I really appreciate you coming on. So just, guys, Kev, are you the official painter? Is that?
I guess I kind of am. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the projects, obviously, because there's a lot to do, and I couldn't be like the official painter of everything because there's just too much stuff.
No.
I would have to paint 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And not do anything else because I do a lot of other stuff for Nick as well.
Right. Yeah.
So he's got he's got a few really other painters that we really like to lean on, like Andrew Taylor and people like that, Mystic Spirals, and particularly somebody like Andrew Taylor he just does stunning work. He's done the I don't know if you've seen the Silver Bayonet stuff.
I did, yeah.
Which is another of Joe's games, obviously.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. Yeah, and
he's done. I mean, Napoleonics aren't my thing either, particularly, and Nick kind of knew that, I think, and didn't want to take me off doing Stargrave stuff and Oathmark stuff. So,
well,
he got Andrew to do them, and a fantastic job Andrew has done on them, man.
I know, it's very impressive. I wish I had the abilities, but technique and I'm an adequate painter, and I'm happy with that.
There's something about Andrew's figures. There's just a craftness about them. He does a lovely job.
Yeah.
I taught him all he knows, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, no, to be fair, he did used to work for me back about 1,000 years ago when I was painting professionally on my own sort of thing.
All right.
I got some other painters, some young lads, that I thought I could bring up. And no, Andrew always was a very good painter. I'm only kidding, but he did do quite a lot of work for me, to help me out with commission work I was doing. So, I always appreciate his work. So I don't do everything, but I like to think that people think of me as North Star's sort of
we'll call you the lead painter.
Lead painter, that's good enough, I think.
That's brilliant. So we are going to move on to the first topic, and that topic is going to be what's new. So what's new for you, and what's new? Actually, I've got some information that Nick passed on to me, which I was truly grateful for, and on some release dates for some Oathmark models. So the trolls.
I was interested to find that out from you, which was really nice because Nick.
Apparently, Nick neglected to tell Nick that he'd be painting anything soon. So.
Yeah, to be fair, I may or may not paint them, I suppose. But,
that's true.
It depends what else I've got on my plate at the time, but. No, the most recent stuff. You were going to say what you had.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Oh, indeed, sir. The good news is we are going to be seeing the trolls that you've seen been released in resin. They've been coming to us.
I just had a thought. I've got some painted ones here. While you tell him that, I'll go and get them. Won't be a second.
Okay.
They're literally up here.
Lovely. And so we're going to see those trolls out in metal in January. The next big thing is the orcs. So we're going to see our orc first box of orc plastics out in April, and that will be swiftly followed by the box of goblin slaves. So
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That'd be super. And I'm told there is going to be a Oathmark vampire slipped in, hopefully somewhere in amongst that as well. Because I know.
Really?
Yeah,
you don't know who's doing it, do you?
He didn't mention that. No, he just gave me some tidbits, and that's what he's told me.
Oh, so. I wonder if Mark Copplestone's doing it.
Well, I love everybody's sculpts, but Mark is. I asked. Mark is one of my favourite sculptors.
Yeah,
so,
me too. Me
yeah,
too.
I was.
I'll ask you. I want to speak to him later on today, actually. So I'll ask him. So that's an Oathmark vampire.
Yes, that's what I believe. So,
Do you know what that's for?
Say again.
Do you know what the vampire's for? Is there a supplement for that or something?
Oh, there's already a vampire in Oathbreakers. Yeah.
Oh, is there in Oathbreakers? Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So he's in there. He's.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, it's the undead stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I should know that. I've just done a unit of undead.
And he's got the stone stare. He's a handy little necromancer. He's a powerful necromancer and fighter. So he's a handy little character to have out.
Oh no, I'll look forward to seeing who's doing him.
Yeah, well, I've been looking for I've not been looking for an excuse to do anything. Actually, I always just buy it. But
yeah, but one has to make up the rationale for it.
Yes, exactly. Oh look, they got a vampire now, so I can buy an undead army.
Well, I did the undead for my Lord of the Rings project, which we may or may not have time to talk about. But
I'm sure
here's my painted troll, by the way.
Oh yeah. Wow, guys, you can't see this. I can. Amazing.
Yeah, lovely. He's a lovely model, and he's a real, really what I thought of a Lord of the Rings troll. But it's just a great thing, I think. And there's the other one.
Oh wow.
It's not the ideal venue for showing these, but
yeah, I'll
they're not going to come across well on audio, but they're right. Got to get them out anyway.
If you can send me some pictures, Kev,
I will do. Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
What I can do is try and blend them into the.
Do you want me to do that? Should I do that now, or do you want?
That would be fantastic. I can see if I can put them into the YouTube thing, so the guys can see that. Apparently, there's technology out there that can do these sort of things. I just need to find what it is.
Will you edit that? You'd edit that afterwards, though.
Yes, I'll edit that in afterwards.
Oh, okay. So I don't. Okay. Well, I won't look for the files now.
No. So over to you, Nick. Kev. Okay. So what's new for you on your painting table?
Well, as the newest things that I've got that Nick sent me the other day were the stuff for the new Frostgrave thing, which is Blood Rage, isn't it? Have I got that right? Yeah, Blood Rage. Yeah, which are the fire giants, which look really exciting. And again, I didn't actually know we were going to be doing some, but yeah, and one appeared the other day in my letterbox, along with a vampire wizard, I think, and what else? Oh yeah, some of those weird blood, like sucky wolf things. With the big, they've got oh god, I can't remember what they're called. Instead of a head, they've got a horrible sort of sorry.
The succubus? No, I know which
one. No.
I know the model you're on about. I do know
I need to get the book to sell. Yeah, but they're like four-legged hounds, only with a blood-sucking head.
Yes, I know.
They look absolutely grotesque. They're really. I mean, the models are really close to the illustrations in the book.
Oh right! Wow.
So yeah, they're another crazy creature that Joe has dreamt up. And the models just look great, and really creepy. And there's another couple of figures as well. I can't remember. I think they're probably vampire stuff. But no, the one that I really liked was the fire giant. Oh
yeah, no, I think there was a picture of a medal that went out on one of the.
Oh yeah, I think
on Facebook.
Yeah, you're right. I did photograph them the other day. But often I'll take. Usually I'll take grey pictures of them before they're painted and stuff, just so we almost like for record purposes or for putting in when we haven't got painted. Yeah. I like to take a nice little teasers. Yeah. Nice quality picture of them primed up so they look smart.
Yeah, no.
And yeah, I did them before Christmas, so Nick will have had pictures which he may well have posted up to Facebook or
I think
Instagram or somewhere or Twitter. I can't.
Yeah. It was
I don't do Twitter, but
yeah,
I do Instagram. In fact, I think I've just started following you on Instagram if I got the right person. Although sometimes it's not easy to tell because I use my own name on all of these things, and I forget that other people don't. So I have to sort of
Yeah, I'm Matthew Hartsbig, so that's the guy. That should be me.
Well, you might be able to tell, mightn't you?
I can have a look. So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
see if it's not me, if I haven't done that right, give me a shout and I'll find you if you can and follow you properly.
Absolutely, because I definitely follow you on Instagram. So
did you have a picture of the Rangers of Shadow Deep ogre in your portfolio? Ah, yes. That's the one then. Yeah, because that's what I saw. I saw that and thought, oh, I painted that. Oh,
you did. You definitely did, and that was when I asked to make sure I was not doing anything naughty using your work to promote the Rangers of the Shadow Deep episode of Oathwire. So that's what I wanted to do. Because
oh no, I don't think that's it. Yeah. No, I think we're all one big happy family, really.
Absolutely, we? No, absolutely. So,
no, I like the Rangers. I mean, I've never played it. I've not played it, but I really like the sort of what do you call it, the oeuvre of it. I just like the feel of it. You know, that very sort of almost like fairy tale, dark sort of end of the world type thing, and I really like that. And Joe's done a mountain of work on it, and the amount of supplements for it.
He's plowing through it, definitely.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, he obviously really loved it, didn't he? So
yeah. It's. I mean, the listeners on here would have heard me say it before. It's basically what brought me back. I'm a historical gamer, pretty much for the last 30 odd years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I used to play a bit of I played AD&D back in the day.
Yeah. Didn't we all?
As a teenager. And that was my fantasy kick back then. I didn't really do anything. I grew up in a military. I went to military wargaming clubs, so we didn't. They didn't do fantasy. We did Cold War stuff. We did World War II.
Oh right. No, I was lucky.
And everybody did Napoleonics. So
I was lucky. The clubs I went to were well, and still are quite a broad church in that respect. I was lucky that they're both big clubs.
Yeah.
So you got, you there's almost always somebody there that was doing something that you'd be interested in,
Yeah.
I mean, the Warlords, South London Warlords and Selwig,
both
quite decent sized clubs.
Yeah.
I don't know, 60 to 100 sort of people, so you get a good spread. Not that you get that many every night, sort of thing.
No. I mean, I'm not complaining. I still enjoy historicals.
Yeah, me too. Oh yeah. No, I was lucky that I did both.
Yeah.
I never sort of had to choose between them, really.
Yeah, I did a bit. I did bits and pieces, and obviously board games, that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think if I take it really back, the Fighting Fantasy was my first ever war game. The Forest of Doom and all that, and Wizards of Firelock Mountain.
Wizards of Firelock Mountain. Oh god, I remember that. Yeah.
I was doing those books, and there were some other ones out there you could get as well. So I was always doing that sort of stuff when I was younger. But when I picked up wargaming when I was 14, I always had plastic soldiers. The same old story.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Airfix plastics. Yeah. With my brother chucking darts and marbles at each other.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that involved the game as well.
Yeah. So I've played a lot of this sort of thing, and then I got into Star Wars X-Wing. My lad, because I'm trying to get him to relate to wargaming somehow, and he was a massive Star Wars fan. And he wasn't interested in playing, historical stuff. It didn't hit his buttons. So we played a lot of that, and then lockdown came, and I was looking for something that wasn't us competing against each other.
Oh, like a cooperative game.
Absolutely. Yeah. I heard about Rangers on a podcast that I'd been listening to.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll buy the PDF, and that was it. I bought that, and here I am with masses of bloody fantasy stuff everywhere.
You really caught the bug.
Oh yeah, I did. I mean.
Oh no, I had a much long, slow sort of not introduction to wargaming, but my wargaming has been, almost throughout my entire adult life now. So I'm nearly 60, so I started probably when I was 14, like you say. But I mean, my initial stuff was you know, your Airfix plastics, like almost everybody did. But I was again lucky enough to be, when I was at school, I went to there was a chess club, which wasn't really a chess club, it was a gaming club. They called it chess club so it sounded pottering. So, you know, people would go, oh, chess, oh, that's a good intellectual thing. I mean, I don't think I ever played chess.
Oh, fair enough.
But we played board war games like Tactics 2,
Oh, yeah.
one of the original Avalon Hill ones, and various stuff like that. And my maths teacher who ran the chess club was a wargamer.
All right, cool.
I mean, he was a really nice bloke, very interesting man. He was a ex-army, it's like the school teachers used to be.
Yeah.
He was a mining engineer.
Oh, wow.
Amazing stuff, you know. You think, my God, you know, he had all scars on his back where he'd been down the pits and stuff, like, you know, they catch things.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, you know, he'd actually literally been at the coalface, and yeah, he was a wargamer. So he kind of introduced us into wargaming, and from that, I just got an interest in it, and played, and then realised the fact that you could play with your little Airfix soldiers, but it wasn't just like randomly chucking stuff at them like me and my brother did. You know, there were actually sort of structured rules you could have, and things like that. And yeah, it was just an amazing world. I bought Phil Barker's Ancient War Games book. I don't know if you ever remember, like the Airfix publications they did. A big long series of them. They did all sorts of modelling ones. And
Napoleonic one, I remember that.
They did the Napoleonic one, that's right, yeah. And the Epic one, which I still have, I still got it. And that introduced me to the fact that you could have armies and ancients, and that was about ancients, yeah. And that started my fascination with Byzantines, of which has never left me. Amongst all the other stuff I've done, which has been all sorts of wargaming, everything from, like you say, from AD&D to, well, it was D&D in my day. You know, we didn't have AD&D then.
You got
all sorts of stuff, yeah, from Warhammer to. But the fascination with the Byzantines have never left me. That was my first metal army that I painted.
Nice.
Which I bought figures for, which were Hinchcliffe figures, and I painted that with my dad. And that's really where I started painting. And I wasn't any good. I'll send you some pictures of the awful figures. No, the figures weren't awful. They were of their time.
But
my painting was awful. But
yeah, I mean, you got the problem. You got the other thing is what these youngsters don't know is the paints were bloody awful as well.
Yeah, it was all done in old Humbrol.
Yeah, enamels. Yeah,
enamels. Yeah. Which have their place. Place, but
you're not
quite tricky down. And some of it I was doing in gloss enamels as well. And you think, why would you do that?
Shiny soldiers.
Well, they were ending up shiny.
Yeah,
but no, I was lucky enough to have my dad who was interested. Not massively interested in the sense of he wasn't interested in playing much.
No.
He was quite interested in the historical side of it.
Yeah.
And he was quite interested in the painting of it.
Yeah.
And again, like me, he wasn't much good, but we sort of struggled along and then gradually learnt more stuff as we went, really.
Yeah. I mean,
I still have the army I painted. In fact,
wow.
I can see the box of it. It's down there in this. It's stuck under a table somewhere, so nobody can see it. I couldn't bear to part with them.
I had a 15mm minifigs French army was my first army, and unfortunately I got rid of that in my early 20s because I thought nobody's going to be playing war games anymore because everybody's going to get a computer. So how wrong was I? And thankfully, how right.
The first army I think I painted what I would consider or it wasn't, but I thought of that at the time. I thought it was good at the time. That was a 15mm army because everybody was 28. Nobody was going to be playing 28mm anymore. It was all going to be 15s,
Yeah.
So, or they called it 25mm.
Well, it was 25 back then.
Until Brian Ansell invented 28mm.
Yeah.
It was 50 anyway. Mine was again a Byzantine army, but in 15mm. I think that was Mike's models. I don't know if they exist anymore. I don't think they do.
I've not even heard of them. So yeah.
No, I think they like sunk without trace, as indeed the figures deserve to. But then I did some minifigs again in 15, and they were nice enough.
Yeah, that's funny.
But that's when I really started thinking. Actually, I might like to paint things more than just one color of like gloss, and then varnish it gloss as well. You know, that's when I was kind of developing an idea of that I might want to actually paint things in a more not serious way, but not just for gaming. You know, I might want to enter painting competitions or that kind of thing, which I did. You know, I did.
All right, so that is that. So what were you entering, like competitions at sort of clubs or?
A bit. I mean, weirdly, my first wargame competition, I think, was at the Model Engineer exhibition, which I don't even know happens anymore.
Right, never heard of that.
Well, no, you may well not have that. It was a very big thing in the modelling world, the Model Engineer exhibition, and they would cover everything in modelling, from railways to anything you could think of that you could model. I mean, I remember seeing one time we were up there, somebody done a manhole cover. You know, made a scale model of a manhole cover. You know, it's a bit like modern art, isn't it? You go, really? Okay. But they would do almost anything. But one of the categories, obviously they were divided up into different categories. Single figures and one of the categories was War Games unit. Okay. So I entered the War Games unit and I won a silver medal, which wasn't fantastic, but I think it had the advantage was there weren't that many entries, I think, so I wasn't up against too much competition. But that kind of sort of encouraged me a bit. Selwig, I went to not long after that, Selwig Club. Yeah. They had back then they had a dedicated modelling and painting section who didn't wargame at all.
Oh, really?
They literally, I mean, sometimes they did bigger figures, but they would do smaller figures as well. But there was a guy called Max Longhurst there who used to do a lot of stuff in like military modelling back in the day.
Oh, right, the
military modelling magazine.
Yeah.
And so he was, you know, he encouraged me to do painting, and I did start doing larger figures for a little while, but I wasn't that interested really. So I went back to painting War Games figures, but trying to paint War Games figures to a higher standard, like they were painting the big models. But obviously it needed slightly different techniques, but it gave me sort of inspired me a bit to do more painting, I suppose. And the club had like a mini painting competition every month, just a little tiny one, you know, that just open to club members. And eventually they stopped me entering it really because I used to win it a lot. So in the end, because we did have a system where everybody would vote for the entries and stuff like that, and in the end, I got to just be judge of it really. So I could.
Oh, right, okay.
So I didn't I didn't enter it anymore, which was flattering and nice. And then we had, you know, we developed a few other painters at the club, like Paul Baker, Steve Dean, people like that you might have heard of. They all went for the club. And again, I taught them everything they know, obviously. No, not really, but, you know, they were, you know, it was nice to have, you know, we had quite a little card, old Graham Greene as well, who you might have seen some of his, like, Lord of the Rings, Oathmark stuff. I mean, fantastic work he does now. Oh, brilliant stuff. And, so we had a group of about half a dozen of us all, you know, painting like crazy, really. And we didn't game. Well, we did game, but not, the gaming wasn't necessarily the first thing.
Okay.
Except for Steve Dean, who was manically gaming.
Right.
And still is. He's a wizard when it comes to it. It always to be terrible because we'd all sort of think, oh, right, we'll start this set of rules and we'll all learn it. And Steve would like know it almost instantly. And all the rest of us would struggling and would beat us hollow. But,
yeah. That's never good because then you're like, let's play another one. Oh, no, he's done it again.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what I'm hearing there is basically everything you've sort of learned is there's a lot of self-learning there. So you've gone, because I mean nowadays you can go on. I can turn the TV on and watch a day's worth of painting tutorial.
Oh, easy, yeah.
I had no sort of instruction. To be honest, I would say it wasn't until recently, the last sort of 5-6 years, that my techniques have improved massively. So from watching other people, I wasn't really so. I mean, is it instinctive? Is it? I mean,
no, like you said, I mean, really, the version of people would use YouTube for now. I had people at club that I was going to that were the guys painting the big military modelling stuff. They were already of quite a high standard that I could sort of try and emulate and copy some of the techniques that they used, like the shading they used to use, because not many people that were doing that on Wargames figures.
No, I've been. I go to like there's a close to me is Gloucester Modelling and Bristol, and I do go to these modelling places because 2 reasons: is they usually have got new stuff coming along.
Yeah.
But Wargamers don't see. I mean, just as I use AK Interactive paints.
They're nice paints, those.
Yeah. And that's because I saw modelers using it. They are model based sort of stuff.
No, they're nice paints, those.
They come, their weathering stuff's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good as MIG. MIG's did this, MIG's that.
I like MIG stuff.
Yeah. I've got some MIG stuff as well, but I just sort of got it. We all you get your flavour, don't you? And I've got used to them. There's nothing wrong with anybody else's product out there, to be honest. It's just that's what I use.
No, there's a lot of good stuff, and also it does depend what suits you. Some paints don't suit some people.
No.
Brushes are the same. Some people go, "Oh, I love these brushes," and you go, "Really?"
Yeah.
I go, "Well, I can't get on with them at all," And you go, "Oh, okay." So, because Paul Baker's always doing that. He said, "Oh, I've got these new brushes," and I go, "Oh, really? Oh, okay." And then I go, "Oh, no, I don't like them." I'll go back to what I was using. So.
I've jumped from Windsor and Newton several times and just end up back there, to be honest. So
yeah, lots of people do that. Yeah. I the ones I used were mostly the foundry paints, brushes.
Right. Yeah,
I still use those because I guess I got used to them,
yeah.
and they suit the way I paint. And that's all you can say, really. You can't say who they're better than other people's because it really does depend on what you like, and the only way to find out is to try them. And lots of people go, "No, I don't like them," and there you go. That's just the way it is with painting and paints.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I use Broken Toad as well, but I like that.
No, then that's a good name, isn't it?
They if you wanted to experiment with them, they're I'd say there's sort of pretty similar quality to Windsor and Newton at about half the price. So
right, yeah, because the Windsor and Newtons are quite pricey, aren't they?
They are, that's why I was going to say earlier. I ain't dipping that into no enamel.
No. Oh God, no. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I think that's a lot. I think
they're priced for artists, and I think artists, like proper, what I call proper artists. And I think that they think they're going to spend a bit more money, I suppose.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they last longer, and then they've got.
No, as you were saying, I mean, no, there wasn't YouTube and stuff when I was sort of starting out, but there was other people, fortunately, that I could ask, and because there were other people who were painting as well at the time, and you'd see, "Oh, what's he done there?" or something, and others just go and ask them.
Yeah.
So there wasn't and I mean, there was the odd book about. I remember, God, I think it might have been Hinchcliffe published a compendium thing.
All right, okay.
That had some quite sort of basic but quite useful sort of tips in it. So it was that, and talking to modelers and talking to other guys who were trying out stuff. I mean, one of the things that you mentioned about was. My most useful tip that I've ever received, which is a really hard question to answer, really, because there's so much useful stuff. But I suppose the one thing that really did change my style, which really fundamentally did change my style, was using black undercoat.
Right. Okay.
Because I've got up to a various point, and I'd not used it. It hadn't even occurred to me, and I don't know. We were at club, and I'd look at this guy's stuff, and I thought, well, how's he done that?
Yeah.
And so I went and just asked him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I black undercoat these figures," and I go in. Well, it seems so counterintuitive.
I used
It
to,
almost didn't make sense that you paint something black that you were going to be later painting white.
yeah, no, I used to, I used to do white. You know, that was
Me
you
too.
just get can of Humbrol white paint and off you.
Absolutely, yeah. Up to, I painted quite a lot of stuff before I sort of swapped to black undercoating, and it did take me quite a while to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
But after that, now I do almost everything black except stuff that I'm perhaps airbrushing and things like that. So yeah, if I had to pick one thing, it's not really a tip, is it? But it's something that was quite seminal, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that did bring me on, I think, although I'd stopped doing it, I stopped enjoying entering painting competitions. That was the other reason I stopped doing it.
All right.
Was entering painting competitions. So you can see what other people are doing. And go, oh right, okay, that's interesting. Or oh no, I hadn't thought of that. I mean, you don't get the opportunity to ask them.
No.
Because, you might not see them, but that, I mean, the salute painting competition was great for that, and still is.
I used to always love going up and looking at the salute stuff. It was always awesome, but you go up there and sort of like wide-eyed and go, wow. But yeah, no, I have to say my only issue with the salute painting competition nowadays is when you go up there, you can't bloody see anything because the lighting's awful. So.
It is awful, isn't it? Yeah, because I often judging it, but the things are taken away from the cabinets to do that, and under proper lights where you can actually see the damn things. But no, I agree. It's hard. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you've got to kind of have it in those cabinets to protect them.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's just the lighting in Excel can be bloody awful and all, can't it? The actual lighting.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great, and not a drop of daylight, of course, because they won't dare let any daylight in the place for some reason. I don't know why not.
Yeah, it's basically you're in a hangar.
You are.
Some low sodium lights. It feels like
anything. Yeah. I mean, it's great earlier on, like before the show's open, because they had the doors all open at the front.
Oh, really?
You actually get daylight in, and it's so much nicer when they've got those doors open. But of course, they won't leave them open because I suppose they think people are going to escape out that way or something.
They might try and sneak into the wargaming.
Oh well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, all those people wanting to sneak into wargame shows. Yeah. But yeah, so
yeah, all right. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, nowadays I undercoat in grey because that's what I do, and I've done for donkey.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I couldn't recommend anybody changing specifically to black.
No. I've tried. I mean, I tried to paint in black. I just couldn't get on with it.
No. So it's not.
But don't take me as any bellwether for ability to paint.
It's not for everybody. It's what suits you.
Yeah.
Just sometimes it's what suits you.
But it does
say I use other stuff for other things, like often horses I won't do in black, or dragon. If I'm painting a big dragon or something, I might not. Or
I think with the black you definitely get a richer color when you're painting the models. I can tell. You can tell. I mean, I know I can see it. You've got that. I think you can see the layers being built up, and that color.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a necessary sort of evil of black undercoating. You have to build up layers, otherwise it can look a little bit untidy. So
And I think that sort of comes from I am a gamer, and not. Don't get me wrong, I love painting. I use painting all the time for mindfulness. I find it just takes me off into another place.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I lose track. I absolutely lose track of time and stuff when I'm painting. In a way, I don't do when I'm doing other stuff, like photography or stuff like that. Oh, sorry, my screen's just gone off. Thank you. I absolutely, especially if I'm listening to a good audio book or something at the same time. And I would just be utterly lost. And you know,
and to be honest, I'm grateful for. I mean, I just said to Kev before, Santa Claus has been gracious and delivered some COVID to me. So I've been stuck on my own for the last 3 days, and to be honest, I'm great. The first day or so, I've been feeling rough as old Watsits, but yesterday I started painting up my 10mm cobblestone orc.
Oh right, yeah, that's what you were looking at. Yeah.
So I started doing that, and that's been really good. Just to
Are you doing them as what are you doing them as? Are you doing them as Lord of the Rings, or is you doing
yeah.
Excellent.
So my spear are Urukai. So you got the half orcs at Urukai, and then the orcs are going to be the goblin-esque type chaps. So
yeah, lovely little models.
They are. I've I can't say enough about them, to be honest. I've really enjoyed painting.
I love the little Nazgul on his little creature.
Yeah. I've got him somewhere. I've painted all the walls up. I've painted all the wolf
the
riders.
walls are nice, aren't they? I really like them.
I painted all the wolf riders that I had as well. So I've got 20 wolves done, 15 wolf riders. So now I'm doing the spears. So I'm hoping to get them done today, maybe by tomorrow. And then I've got the archers and the other bits and pieces. So
yeah, I can't remember what's in the range of that now.
Yeah, there's a big.
To be honest, it's a while since I've looked at them.
Yeah, they're nice. I bought some. I bought because they don't do because I want to use it for Oathmark / Kings of War / what else was I going to play? Sword and Shield Fantasy.
Oh right, don't know. Well, I know of it, but I don't know what the format is, as it were, for that.
But we're going to use it for all of that. But I want to base everything I'm doing is so I can do it Oathmark. I bought some Callistra stuff as well, which is they're nice.
Mark always sort of quite likes them because they sort of take off his figures a bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah. The orcs, some of the orcs I've got are really nice. Actually, the wolf riders, because I just thought I'd have a look for comparison. They're not too bad. The ballista is nice. I would just
because Mark, as ever with Mark, he never quite finishes the range. So
yes.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
No. Shh.
Hush my mouth. So yeah, sometimes you do need to sort of fill in the gaps and stuff.
Yeah. And some of them are like I've got the black orcs, which are massive, and they're a bit GW in their look. For the
I like tell you the ones I really like are the trolls, the war trolls that Mark did.
Oh yeah. I've got 9 of them.
Aren't they great?
Yeah. So I'm looking.
Have you like bent the arms about a bit? Oh, you can't really do much with them, can you? Really?
There's this guy who's got. People can't see it, but he's got his hammer up. So I am gonna maneuver that around to give it a different.
Yeah. Or can you change?
If the worst happens, it splits. I can fill it with a bit of green stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're really lovely. Those, again, exactly what you'd want for Lord of the Rings as well.
Absolutely. So that's my plan is basically do 10mm Lord of the Rings. So
I mean, 10mm is a good scale to do it in, really, isn't it?
It is. My plan's to have like about a 5,000, 6,000 point art. I've got about 10,000.
Oh blimey! No, the biggest I've done is about 2,500 points in.
Oh right, yeah. Well, it's not a lot of stuff, to be honest. If you start putting mages and
that's true.
All that bits and pieces. It's not. I've not gone like. It's just. I'm not crazy with it. Yeah.
Not tempted to have a dragon, then you're not trying to go Smaug, then, are you?
If I can find a 10mm dragon I like, yes, possibly, maybe a 15mm one.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you probably find a 15mm one that would.
Yeah.
That's
definitely on the cards. So.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, no. So I'm really enjoying that at the moment. So, and I've painted 6mm figures before, mostly modern stuff actually.
Yeah.
So it's like green, dab out a bit of flesh, pick out. Dab a bit of green, brown, black for camouflage, but most of my stuff was Soviet, so it was green.
Oh yeah.
Flash rifle.
Yeah,
So,
pretty. Yeah, hopefully quite quick to do.
yeah, but these are quick, but there's lots of detail in there.
There is, isn't there? Yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah, they you have to spend a little bit of time on them.
Yeah. So now I'm sort of batch painting them up. It's nice. It's like getting the leather picked out. They've got little bags on them, and the shields are nice. I'm painting the shields in a lot of leather-esque, more than a black steel sort of thing that you see from the films, because I don't think orcs, just don't see how they would have these big steel shields, because
No,
I don't see it. So and it's beautiful what they've done in the film, but it's not the aesthetic I read when I read the book. So
no, I don't. I don't dislike the films, but
No.
they're not exactly what I had in mind. But I do. There's some stuff in them which is really nice. Some of the visualization and the country and the scenery.
yeah,
They did some fantastic stuff with that.
no,
Yeah, some of the stuff didn't quite work as far as I'm concerned. And we won't mention the Hobbit at all, obviously.
no. That's yeah. Anyway, we will move on from that completely.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, please.
Yeah, my next plan will be to get the alliance, good alliance, or the Rohinians and all that lot. So it'd be nice to see. It would be nice to have a few more dwarf bits and pieces in there, but I can fill that out. So I'll be looking out for those. I've got a 3D printer as well, so if I needed to, I don't like GW looking dwarves, and a lot of them are out there. The 3D prints are GW looking, and they're all that box shape.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah,
I mean the Oathmark armies, the armies that I've got are Lord of the Rings based as well. They're a good army and an evil army, obviously, but they're set in the Third Age. I can't remember the exact timing of it now, but they're a bit before the wars.
right.
Like in Lord of the Rings, they're a bit before that, and they're based around the sort of south of Mirkwood type area. So they've got elves in them and dwarves and men. It's a sort of not last alliance really, a Battle of Five Armies type sort of approach, where you've got an alliance of goodies, and then your evil armies obviously consist of orcs and more orcs and goblins and trolls and that kind of thing. Whereas the good armies are, let's say, elves, dwarves, and men.
Yeah. I was saying that my dwarf army is going to be a goblin / dwarf army. So.
Oh right, okay. Well, that's not totally on Lord of the Rings, is it?
No.
Because dwarves did get a bit shady in some of their.
They did
carryings on, didn't they?
So. So obviously that's your thing then. As you look, I see.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really played Oathmark as you should properly play it. Really,
right.
like it as proper Oathmark. I've always tended to use it as a set of rules for playing Lord of the Rings, really, which I suppose isn't really what it was meant for. But
it's not, but it is ideal. You're not the only because you know Nick that's Nick's army is Lord of the Rings as well.
Nick's a big Lord of the Rings fan. Yeah.
So
I'll send you my army list I worked out.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
So you can have a look. I did do it as an article, but in fact I can send you the link to the article I did.
It's on
me in my North Star web magazine.
Oh, right, cool.
There are articles about it and those armies are all fast painted as well.
Oh, okay.
So they're not, they're because again I wanted to do them at scale, and it was something we did during the first sort of lockdown stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
So that was build loads of plastics and paint loads of plastics sort of as fast as possible.
All right, wow.
With still making them look nice and that.
Yeah.
But, just to get some armies done, and then we didn't play with them for quite a while for various other reasons.
Well, yeah.
Now I have played with them a bit and tried to get to grips with Oathmark, which I really like, I must admit. Although I'm not, I suppose you might say I'm paid to say that, but.
Well, yeah, Yeah, I mean, you could.
I mean, it's one of the ones I do game with.
Well, that says a lot, though, doesn't it? If I'm sure you've
Well,
played a lot of
played
fantasy games out there. So if you're
Yeah,
playing it, you must
there
like.
is a lot of game. That's true. There's a lot of gaming out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I play Frostgrave as well, which
Yeah.
obviously I've been playing that a lot longer than I've been playing Oathmark because it's been out a
Yeah.
lot longer. And although I've not played it as much recently, because you can only do so many things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, and it's what I like about that is you can put it down. You do the campaign book. You can put it down, and then go and play something else. And then they bring it in. It's the rules are the only problem I have is when I'm playing a Joe game is some of them. The rules are very similar, but then there's slight differences, and you go, no.
Is that Rangers of Shadowpeak? No, hang about.
Yeah. Is that? Well, we've been playing Stargrave campaign at the.
Oh, have you? I've not played Stargrave properly. Well, I've only messed about with it a bit. I've not actually played it.
Well, I mean, the stuff I'm going to blow some smoke up your bum, but the stuff you've painted is insanely good. So
thank you. I have enjoyed painting it. Yeah. I hope that sort of shows, really. But
no, absolutely. I've
had some lovely stuff done for it.
Yeah.
Bobby Jackson's metal stuff is so crisp and nice, and then the plastics work well too.
Yeah.
No, they're all.
And he did all those conversions as well, which I love. All the dwarf, convert the gnolls and all the other bits and pieces.
Yeah, there's some nice bits. Occasionally, Nick would send me stuff, and I'd try and convert them before I'd actually done the photographs of the real thing, as it were, just to see what I could get away with.
Yeah, no. I think there's a lot of people out there taking. I believe there's what I've heard is there's people take a lot of inspiration out of that. I mean, I'm a bit naughty. I had about 400 quid's worth of Imperial Assault figures sitting up in my gaming cabinet, and I'm like, I'm going to use them because I don't play that very often. So all my stuff's Star Wars, I'm afraid. So
no, I've seen people do it, and some very nice Star Wars stuff it is too. Yeah.
Now, to be honest, at first I bought the rules and stuff, and I wasn't sure that anybody was going to play it I was going to get people to play it with me.
Oh, right, okay.
And then at the club, everybody was like, we had like 8 people. So I was like, oh, well, I haven't bought any figures, so I'll get these out, whack on a bit of paint.
I mean, I don't know if you still do, but I still do historical gaming as well.
Oh, yeah, no, I do, yeah.
Because I love playing. My favourite is, and has been for quite a few years now, was Death in the Dark Continent, which is African-based wargaming in the 19th century. Not people think it's colonial warfare, but
no.
It's not just colonial warfare. There is obviously colonial armies in there.
Yes.
On account of their carving up Africa almost at that point or slightly after. But there is an awful lot of, in fact, there's much more African tribal stuff. And armies of the kingdoms and the nations of Africa, rather than the Europeans who are coming in to try and nick it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did. Some amazing civilizations that were there. The Benin.
The Benin. Oh yes, God.
Yeah.
And all the city-states along the southern Sahara.
Yeah.
All those, the Sokoto and all that lot.
Yeah. There was some
knights. I mean, that's one of the ones I love is the Knights of the Savannah with their armored cavalry and stuff. Right late into the 19th century. And the Azandi civilization north sort of the Congo, and known as the Zulus of the Congo.
Yeah.
And then further up on that, there's the ones in the southern Sudan. So there's loads, fantastic tribal armies that you can use. In fact, I only have one European army, and all the rest of my stuff is African.
I've
got a large Azandi army, which is good fun.
I bought one of those Nick surprise box things that they did a few.
Oh really? What? Yeah, I've never seen one.
I think there was all sorts of bits and pieces of it. There was some sort of board game in there that was basically for kids. I'm not saying that you were trying to get rid of some stock, Nick, that maybe is sitting around, but I think you were. But it was a great little present actually for my cousin's 2 kids.
Oh, well, that's good.
So, and they loved it. It was some sort of like animal sort of sports game thing with these tokens on it. It was an Osprey game.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, and it was cool. But I got lots of little bits and pieces in there. I got some of the stuff from that Darkest Africa range, and all the I got the Congolese bowmen and that. And so there's some really nice sculpts in there actually.
Yeah, Steve Salad. I think Steve Salad did that.
Yeah, all right, okay. So yeah, Steve, you did that's really just really nice work, and I actually, I've mentioned it a couple of times. So I find wargamers, we sort of sit in that bracket, don't we? I'm not saying anybody before anybody gets on their high horse. We're white men and we paint white men.
Quite often, yeah.
Yeah. So I realised that a while ago, about 2 years ago. That's when I started. So I've been really, when I got into Frostgrave, I was really impressed with the whole sort of, there's a lot of female characters in there.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they got that diversity in there as well. So I want to do up an Oathmark army as an African army, but I don't want it to be necessarily in.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought that.
As a human army, sort of barbarian army esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not in a way that looks like they are just Zulus or anything like that. So I'm going to be looking at them.
How's your voice? You sound a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to edit this out. You didn't need to hear that, right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. So yeah, I'm going to looking at building that. I've got a friend.
So what figures would you use, you think?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I haven't delved too deep into it yet.
I mean, one of the ones I've got on my list of things that I really want to do is a Shilluk army. Now they're quite obscure.
All right.
But a fabulous costume. Well, not costume. They didn't wear much, to be fair. But what they did wear was great, and lots of painting, face painting, and hair painting, and hair sculpture. They went in for very interesting thing. So they are southern Sudan.
All right. Okay.
Quite a tough gig, just to live there, let alone having.
So it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hard life, I think, but they are beautiful. Again, Mark Copplestone, of course, and yeah, they are just lovely.
Are those in his range? Are they in the?
In the Darkest Africa, in his Darkest. I think.
Oh right, yeah. You know what? I'll have to go and have a look. I'm sitting there going, "This is what I want to do," and I haven't actually had a good look at what I need to do. So.
SHILLUK.
Okay.
It's only like 5 packs he did.
All right.
But there's everything you need in that lot, and you could do quite a bit of converting if you wanted to. I mean, they do have some armed with guns and stuff, which I'm not quite sure how you'd fit into Oathmark, but there's a lot, there's spearmen and clubmen and
yeah.
So they would make lovely figures.
I suppose you could cut the barrels off, and there's enough plastics. If you've got Oathmark plastics, you could start adding.
Yeah, you can make crossbows or something.
Yeah, crossbows, all sorts of stuff. You could do all sorts of things. Yeah, so great possibilities. But yeah,
I don't know if Oathmark. Would Oathmark ever get firearms? I suppose I don't know.
I wouldn't have thought so. It's Dark Age. I think that for me, that's kind of what I don't want that GW Renaissance feel to fantasy.
No, it never appealed to me.
That's.
Nice figures they used to use if you wanted to use them in land decks.
And
stuff, but no, it never appealed to me for games.
No, and that's fine. Each their own. I'm not slagging. They've, there's a lot of GW players out there that are playing games because.
But yeah, if I was given the time to do it, that's what I'd like to do: the Shilluk army, the Death in the Dark Continent, and the Knights of the Savannah army. To do all those beautiful knights painted in their full. Gaudy colours, which is lovely to do.
That sounds quite cool, actually. That definitely sounds.
Oh yeah, they are amazing, but yeah, quite. The problem with the Shilluk army is it would be quite large, so that would take quite a while.
Yeah.
And the Savannah army they're quite complicated, so again that would take quite a while. But you know, it's definitely in me in tray. And I'd quite like to do all the rest of the Frostgrave stuff that I haven't painted.
All right, there's quite a bit of Frostgrave stuff out there, isn't there?
There's a bit, yeah. And I mean, some things weirdly, there's things like the knolls. You know, the lovely plastic knolls.
Yeah.
Now I've never actually painted any.
Oh really?
No, well, no. Let me finish. I've never painted any in real true 28mm size.
Oh right, okay.
I did paint them, and the ones you see on the box are painted by me, but they're not 28mm. And the ones you see inside the books that painted by me are also not 28mm, even though they are 3-ups. Yeah. Because that was at that point, to get them early enough done so they could get into the books and stuff. They were because they were going to be plastics. Originally, those were done at 3-up size. They're not done like that anymore, obviously, because it's all digital.
Oh, really?
Now. But those ones were. Well, that's how the Perrys. I think the Perrys still do it. I think.
Oh, right.
They make them. They make their masters 3-up.
Yeah.
So
just explain to the listeners if they don't understand that. Basically.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So basically, what we're saying is that I know maybe you get the figure, but you're doing the sculpting at a lot 3 times bigger than it's
3 times as big. Yeah.
And then when it goes off to be done, it gets reduced back down.
Yeah. It gets pantographed down, which they say that as if that's like the easiest thing in the world. I don't really understand how it's done. However, it is done, and they reduce down. I think it's so you get a sharper image and stuff like that. And but I used to get resins of those original 3-ups to paint, so they would be ready to go in the book. But then obviously that would be way back. Whereas the production line, the production period for doing plastics can be quite long. Yeah,
I think Nick was saying, it's and a good run, it's 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, and obviously there's
COVID.
Well, yeah, and also the book productions have long runs as well, so you're trying to get the things in early.
Yeah.
So I would paint the 3-ups, and then I would composite them down onto pictures with 28mm figures, the right size, essentially faking the pictures up so they look right. And I think I mostly got away with it. I don't think many people spotted it.
To be honest, you've said that I had no idea. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, my work is done.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, the one on the back of the box is fine because that's never seen against. That's not shown against 28mm figures. They're just shown all together. They're all 3-ups on that. But the blooming things take ages to paint because they're huge.
So what scale is that then?
I guess they're about 90mm tall, I suppose.
Yeah, that is big, isn't it?
It's quite big, and it's just the acreage because it's not 3 times the acreage.
No.
It's volume, so it's 3 times 3 times 3. It's 3.
Yeah. You got to paint that piece of cloth. All of a sudden, it's like.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. Which is fine, I don't mind doing the work, but it just meant that there, it was quite a lot of effort put into it. Then I had to photograph it, and then I had to convince people that they were 28mm figures, which I think we mostly got away with. I think, I'll show you. That's the Frostgrave box.
Yeah.
Those aren't 28mm figures.
Okay. Wow. There you go, guys. I wouldn't know that. I mean, that's some really good photography as well. So, which I believe that you're do most of that as well.
I do quite a lot of photography. Yeah, I do. Yeah, most of the photography, I guess, for North Star. Not all of the Oathmark stuff. Some of that might be done by Dan at Wargames Illustrated. Dan, I've forgotten his name. His second name. The editor, anyway. We take very nice pictures.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff like you'll see in like the original Oathmark book, that's mostly my photography in there, and I think nearly all of it in the Frostgrave books and all the supplements is all my photography as well.
Nice.
So yes, I've done quite a lot of. I'm guessing I've probably got about 60,000 pictures on this computer that I'm talking to you on.
Blimey.
Obviously, I take a lot of pictures of the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, you take, you know, it's and you. If I take 300 pictures, they might use 30 of them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get good pictures. You take lots, like painting in a way. You get good at painting by painting lots, and
you get better.
You get good photos by taking lots of pictures. Like.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Actually, I've just been I got a light box and a decent camera now instead of trying to use my mobile. So I'm practicing with that, and like you said, you get some good pictures and some not so good pictures. But yeah. It's learning. So I mean, to be honest, obviously you're doing this as a full-time job. This is your work.
It is. Yes.
This is what Kev does. He gets up in the morning and
that's all I do.
I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z today.
Well, no, I'm fortunate that I'm not just painting. You know, I'm doing the photography for Nick.
Yeah.
And I do quite a lot of web layout and things like that for Nick as well. So I'm more than just the painter sort of thing.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
And I lay out their adverts and things like that. You see their adverts in Wargames magazines?
I have noticed them. Yes.
Yeah, I do those. I do the layout for those as well, and I do the photography in that. And if Nick needs I don't know, flyers or box art for stuff, like the latest Silver Bayonet stuff, I've done all the box art for that. I didn't do the box art for the Osprey, for the Oathmark or Frostgrave stuff. That was done by Osprey.
Oh yeah, you can definitely.
I supplied photos.
Yeah.
The photos on the back here, like I just showed you. I supplied that photo and painted figures in it. And the little blower part man there that shows you how to put them together.
All right, yeah.
That's done by me as well.
All right, okay, cool.
With a little bit of photo trickery in Photoshop, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In fact, when you see the figure, when it's all stuck with bits of blue tack, it doesn't look like much really. And then I chop out the bits of blue tack so it looks like like your original air fixing instructions. The blower part instructions. Yeah, I've done a few of them actually. I quite enjoy doing them. I did it for I don't know if you've seen the Gasland stuff. Have you?
Yeah, I've got
mill.
Yeah, I got
there was the last set we did was there was a buggy on the frame, the plastic frame.
Oh yeah.
So I did the blower part, how to assemble the buggy thing, pictures, which was quite fun to work out how to do them. So yeah, so I don't just do painting, although I love doing the painting.
Yeah. So when I mean, is this how long have you been sort of in my world of the wargaming is your living as well as
gosh. Well, 10 years I've been with Nick this year coming up.
All right, okay.
And I'm 60 this year as well, so that puts me back to 50. I've been working with Nick for 10 years. And then I did about 13 years with Foundry.
Okay.
So that's, getting on 23. And then I did quite a few, I guess about 10 years working as a freelance painter for myself.
All right, okay.
So
you've been doing
quite a long time. That's 30 odd or more years, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I think the question is, hobby versus job.
It's interesting that. It used to bother me more than it does now. Now I love it. It doesn't feel like work particularly or hobby particularly.
Yeah.
I just like it all, and that's just what I do.
Yeah,
I suppose it's become I'm so used to it, I suppose. So, excuse me.
Do you find, I mean, I suppose with all work, you get up some mornings and you think, oh, I've got to paint that. That's a pain in the arse. It's a complete grind. Or No?
No, never have that really. Sometimes I think, oh my God, I haven't got time to do this.
Right.
That's oh God, I'm really, we need to get this figure. I need to get this stuff done or something. That could be, but I guess that's like any job, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You've got targets, and you need. Oh God, I've got this photography done because Osprey want it by this date.
Yeah.
Like I've just done the photography for oh God, what's it called? So I have to keep track of these on my diary, otherwise I forget. Eternal Hope, which is a Stargrave one.
Oh, it's the new Stargrave.
So I've just done the photography.
All right,
Photography
nice.
for that. I've no idea when it's going to be released.
Sometime next year.
yeah, it'll be sometime next year. Yeah, because they have really long release time schedules. Osprey do.
Yeah. No, it's the
But
world.
no, I don't have a problem with the hobby, work hobby interface thing. Because if I wasn't doing this for Nick, I would be painting myself anyway. It isn't like I'd stop doing it. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
How long would you spend? I mean, how long do you, on average, I would say, on a 28mm figure, how many hours does it take you to paint one?
It really is, how long is a piece of string?
Right.
Because it can vary so much, but it might be a day of figure, something like that.
Yeah.
But it depends what it is, and also I rarely paint one figure at a time.
No.
Unless it's like something urgent and Nick says, oh my God, we need to get this done. Can you drop everything and just concentrate on that? Normally I'll have half a dozen, 10, 20 figures all on the go at once.
Okay.
Although if you saw my painting table, you wouldn't think that. You'd think I've probably got about 200 figures all on the go at once. Like everybody has loads of ones in undercoat, just waiting for their turn, gathering dust a bit.
Yes. No, I definitely got that. And then I got the ones that haven't been undercoated as well.
Oh yeah, well we've always all got them. Yeah, huge boxes of ones that
we won't discuss those.
No, I think. Well, no, but again, you see, I don't mind that. You see, I view collecting figures as a hobby in itself. I'm not fussed the fact that I now realise, of course, that I'm never going to paint all the figures I've got.
No,
I've just got too many.
Yeah.
I don't want that stopping me having the pleasure of buying new stuff, because I love them.
A friend of mine who used to go to our club, who's moved away now.
Yeah.
He got all his stuff out and tried to work out how long it would take to paint it, and then how long it would take to play with it all as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
And a couple of lifetimes.
Yeah,
it's like you can't do it. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, cool. We've worked it out.
One of my other hobbies, or that I don't do much with now, but I used to, was collecting action men.
All right, yeah.
The ones we all played with. Again, one of the things that I played with before I played with Airfix figures.
Yeah, I used to do.
But I just collect them. I don't do anything with them. I look at them. I get them out occasionally to clean them and put them away again because they get a bit dusty or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not out in the garden playing with them. So I don't do that anymore.
No. Digging the garden.
Yeah, I mean, I view the figure. I view it that I just collect figures as well. I don't have to paint them. Well, I'd love to paint them, but I just collect them because they're nice things.
Absolutely.
We're really lucky. In our hobby at the moment, there's just so much good stuff.
It's insane amounts. I mean, I remember. I mean, I remember.
It says I've got 5 minutes left in my scheduled meeting. Does that matter?
No.
No. Okay. I'll dismiss that then.
Yeah. No. It's. Yeah. I just remember. You used to go to Salute, and every all of the suppliers were there. It wasn't just like.
Yeah.
It was everybody. When I was growing up, it wasn't like, and now it's just, I mean, there's lots of serious players out there making stuff, making a living out of it as well. So
yeah. I mean, look at somebody like Warlord. I mean, the amount of stuff they do.
Yeah.
They've got hundreds of people working for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll do, but there's loads of them.
Yeah.
And they produce a mammoth amount. What did I see an advert today for? Slain. Did you see?
I saw that. Yeah.
They look really nice, don't they?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, Slay.
Yeah, me too. And I've been doing this. How long have I been doing this? And I still go, wow, look at that. There's some new figures coming out. I mean, what am I doing?
Yeah, no, I know. I was.
That's it. I just love that. That's the part of the hobby I love too. I just like collecting the figures. And we might paint them one day. Who knows?
I was immediately like, I see some new characters for my human army. The Oathmark. I haven't bought yet.
Oh God, yeah, wouldn't they be good in Oathmark?
Yeah, that's the
Oh
first.
yeah, what they call them, straw warriors, aren't they? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, brilliant! I thought
They look insane. I was just like, yeah, I need them in my life. But
yeah, me too. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can get some of them.
So, but yeah,
I mean, that's the other thing that I do collect figures that I'm never probably going to paint is all the Doctor Who stuff, because I love Doctor Who. Being a massive Doctor Who fan, as you can see. Can you see from my T-shirt? No, you probably can't.
I can't know.
Oh, I'll stand up a bit. There we go. I happen to have a Cyberman T-shirt on this morning. But yeah, I've got the figures, and I think, am I ever going to get around to painting those? And I think, no, probably not. But I just like them to have.
Yeah, they're nice figures as well, though.
Yeah, they are good. Oh yeah, it's not. I'm not saying that I wouldn't paint them because they're no good or anything.
Oh no.
You know, it's just time and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Even though I'm like I've said, I at the moment currently have an opportunity to have a relationship. Let's call it that. I still don't spend all day, every day, just painting when I've got spare time. So there's only so much you can do. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I must admit, I am quite drawn to fast painting stuff now as well as doing the, you know, the normal stuff I do. But like the Oathmark stuff I did, I wanted to get armies out there and done in a reasonable space of time. So and you know, wanted hundreds of figures on the table, sort of thing. So and again, I'll send you the links to those articles I did about it.
Yeah, no, I'll put them up. That's awesome.
Just to show that I don't just do that one sort of style of painting. I like to do lots of different stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's you know, when it comes to painting, I think, you know, if you're a seasoned veteran that's, you know, got doing it as a living like yourself, and there's lots of other people out there, you know, doing this day in, day out, or you're new to this game and you've just started out and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, or you're in the middle, you know, you've done some painting and you enjoy a bit of it, or you know, you go and pay somebody to go get it commissioned because you're loaded. It doesn't matter. It's just you just do what you can do, isn't it?
Oh well, I get for example, I get Andrew Taylor to paint figures for me. For me, I love his stuff. Yeah. You know, he's a great painter, and I want to have some of his stuff in my life. Well, you know, I'm not going to use them probably to game with, but I just like them.
They just
and also I get to look at them closely and crib stuff off him, you know, which is another, and claim it as my own.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Oh yeah, I've done that over the years. Yeah,
you got once you got the eye in, I suppose you can tell. He's done this. I mean,
there's still sometimes I look at Andrews and go, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah, I've been. He's one. I think he's Ian Craig, who's doing the bits and pieces for you for North Star as well. He's been on here a couple of times, so when I'm like, I send him a picture of something and he'll go, I'll do this, do that, and just some crazy stuff like I never knew. He told me to do a blue-red mix to put down into shade my dwarf king's cape for the Oathmark, to give it sort of that purpley.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I would never have thought of that. And,
no, it's the one that doesn't immediately spring to mind, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm looking at. I've got 20 guys. They're not North Star. They're the Conqueror ones that he does his own range as well now. But I'm looking at the capes now. They just look so much better. They look rich. They look like a texture. Yeah. And I was just like, just something as simple as that, it's made my stuff look better. But yeah, it's just you know, having somebody's I think that's the key, isn't it? Don't be afraid to ask.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think you took that back. I'm going to take that back from what you said at the beginning. I probably would never have asked other people. In fact, I didn't ask how they painted. I was a 14-year-old boy, you know, blah blah blah, and in a war games club, and all the military guys, they didn't really, they play with you, but they didn't really tell you how to paint anything. They weren't in, so.
No, I was lucky at
Yeah.
having that particular. Unfortunately, the modelling group sort of just dispersed in the end, and they don't have it any longer, which is a shame.
It is.
It was quite a valuable resource in its way. I think perhaps some wargamers didn't like them because they didn't game, and they thought there was something, you know, that was a bit odd about them. But...
Yeah, let's be honest. We're all playing with plastic or metal figures.
Yeah.
Whether we roll dice or paint them doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I am so lucky working for North Star though, because North Star have copperstone castings.
Yeah.
And as well, you're a big fan too, aren't you? So
I am a massive fan. Yeah.
You know, it couldn't be any better for me that copperstone castings are under the North Star umbrella, sort of thing. And you know, Mark Copplestone's you know, quite a hobby, well, a long hobby friend of mine.
All right.
Who I've known, gosh, well, even before I worked for Foundry, I think I wrote him a very cringingly sort of awful fan letter at one point, and very kindly responded, and we've been friends ever since, which is really weird because it was fairly cringy, but there you go.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, I've got some of his older sculpts as well from the Grenadier stuff. So yeah. I've got a lot of bits and pieces from them from Forlorn Hope, who do them in the UK now.
That's right. Yeah. He's a nice chap, isn't he? The bloke who runs Forlorn Hope.
And I like the I just love the aesthetic that they give.
Yeah.
So.
And Mark is a sculptor who really understands painters as well.
Yeah.
And also he understands how the things are going to be cast and things like that. And when you're talking to him, and he'll go, well, you can't do that because that won't cast, and you go, oh, won't it? Oh, okay. And he knows without even even going near a mold. He's so experienced and stuff. He just knows what will work and what won't. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I asked Nick if he'd be up for coming on to do an interview, and I was told he wouldn't, so which is fair enough. So, but yeah, no, it would be a nice thought, but no, I doubt it. I doubt it.
That's fair enough. You know, it's I'm doing it from a fan, like yourself. I'm doing it from a fanboy kind of place. So, it's he don't want to do that. He don't want to do it. That's fair enough. I respect his privacy on that front. But yeah, no, I'd love to be able to talk to him about stuff like that. But you're right. When I'm painting his stuff, you're like, wow, this is just so easy to paint. And that's what I find within his stuff. A lot of the North Star stuff, actually. I've certainly the plastics, but the metal. I mean, I love metal. I do. I love metal.
Yeah, me too. No, me too.
Yeah, and
if I had to come down one way or the other, it would be metal.
Yeah, me too. Don't get me wrong. I like the plastic stuff as well.
Oh yeah, I love it, and I like 3D printed stuff. There's some beautiful stuff. Yeah. But yeah, if I had to say, oh, you can only have one of them, I would go metal. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I think it's just.
Gosh, that sounds my very South London accent there, didn't it? And no P in metal at all.
But it just takes paint better, I think, at the end of the day. But that's me. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I mean, I've had to paint a lot of plastic stuff, so I'm not that fussed. But
no.
But overall, yeah, because all the Mark stuff is in metal. He's only ever done a few plastic things, like the Grenadier. If I couldn't have his stuff, I wouldn't. It would be such a loss. So I would, I'd go for metal.
No, definitely.
But the other thing that we were saying about different ranges and stuff, the Frostgrave again, I really like the range, the fantasy stuff of them, because again, it is so huge. There's so many different bits and pieces to it.
Absolutely.
And also because that's done by quite a lot of different sculptors. I quite like that. Although it's nice to have a consistent range, I also quite like all the different people that have had a go at Frostgrave.
Yeah. I mean, you go back to the Rangers stuff. I mean, I really like I bought all the Rangers stuff, and I really like that. I think that mixes well in. I think if you take all of those, look at all of the stuff that comes out of Nine Star, and I think it does just genuinely fit all together. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that doesn't.
One of the things I love is all the plastics that you can cross fertilize.
Yeah,
that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? No, I think you can cross fertilize. I mean, whatever. Anyway, you can use them all and you can have arms off of him or a head off of him, and even the Stargrave stuff. People are doing all sorts of, like you were saying, I did those few sort of conversions early on with dwarf bits and pieces, but people seem to have like gone completely mad and put all sorts of different stuff. And I thought, God, I hadn't even thought of doing that, or they'll put cultist head on or something else, or a Frostgrave. Oh, it's just the way they all fit together. And weirdly, I don't think they were ever really, that wasn't like the basic intention that they would all be able to fit together like the Frostgrave and Oathmark stuff. It's just kind of the way it happened.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that everything is sort of pulled in together, that everything sort of merged. And I've what I was going to say is like I've seen people, what's great about the sprues is you get all those extra heads, and if you've got a Frostgrave box of wizards and stuff, you get a load of different heads in there. You get way more than you need for the 10.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think there was like 25.
Yeah.
On each sprue or something.
Exactly. So you can then whack them onto different things.
Yeah.
And what I love is, as I see people, at the moment, there's a lot of conversions out. We'll go and get some Gripping Beast Goth Elite Cavalry, and we'll take the head off and put we'll put the elf head on that, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. And
I've got some plastic Norman cavalry from. Gosh, it's not Victrix. Somebody was doing an early plastic Normans. I can't remember who it is. Would it have been Victrix?
Or did Atlantic Miniatures do it? I don't know.
Anyway, I've got some plastic they're waiting to have human heads, different heads to make them Rohirrim.
Yeah.
And different shields and stuff to make them look more Lord of the Ringsy.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys doing the
armored cavalry. That was it. Yeah.
Doing Byzantine armies, like you said.
Oh yeah, the ones from Fireforge.
Yeah,
they're great, aren't
they? Yeah, because I was thinking maybe doing like an elf Byzantine type esque army or something like that, because I'm similar to you. That's fascinating. It's a fascinating point of history for me as well. So I love the fact.
I can't get enough of the Byzantines though.
Yeah,
just amazing. I mean, especially as like people sort of don't really know much about them, and you go, well, yeah, Rome fell in the west, it fell, but in the east, it carried on for another 1,000 years, and people go, oh, did it? And you go, yeah, that's right,
No, it's just like it's like your culture today is massively revolving around that. You just don't understand that's the case. So.
They have a great history of betrayal and all that kind of stuff running right through it, and religious fanaticism. It could be like Game of Thrones, couldn't it?
No, definitely. No, absolutely.
The iconoclasm and all that stuff, and it's just completely mad. Civil wars right at the end of the empire, and you go, look, do you not understand? Look, the Turks are knocking at the door. Why are you fighting each other?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter to them. They go, oh no, we'll carry on with our civil war. And you think, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I know. But I'm the king of the world.
That's just right. Yeah, but you've got hardly any territory left.
Yeah.
Poor people, but there you go.
I just
stop themselves, couldn't they?
I was just watching quite an interesting thing about them actually, and the rise of the caliphates and Muslim as they push the Sassanites, is it Sassanites? Sassanids.
Yeah. Well, they were taken out by the by the Arab conquest as well, weren't they? That swept across. But again, that's what people don't realise, that the Byzantine Empire was a block to the Arab conquest coming up.
Yeah,
it just stopped it. And otherwise the Arabs would have carried on, and it would have probably taken most of Europe. I mean, they took Spain, and that was pure luck in the Pyrenees that stopped them, in Spain. So it would have been a very different world if it hadn't been for the Byzantines. But there we are. We digress on the.
We did digress, but never mind.
But no, those Fireforged Byzantines are very nice.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and it's good to see that people are using, lots of stuff, and it's good to see them painting it up and getting it up on all the different Facebook groups that
yeah, I love it. I love the fact. Yeah, I mean, you could spend all day literally just looking at nicely painted stuff, couldn't you? Instead of actually doing your own painting.
Yeah. I did a lot of that. Yeah, when I feel in proper poop the other day. I was just staring at it, going, "Oh, that's nice," looking for some inspiration, and then, all the silver bayonet stuff that's out there, like you said, and it's like, I need to do that as well. So I got.
Yeah, really. You see, I never thought I'd be interested in it, but it kind of it's a slight sort of seductive. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if it's got that sort of dark fairy tale about it, like Shadow Deep has.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of gothic, sort of creepy feel about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I sort of, it makes me remember. I don't know if you've seen the film, The Grimm Brothers, but good.
Yeah.
Imagine that good. But if you read the actual Grimm Brothers fairy tales, they're pretty gruesome. Cinderella, she actually cuts one of them cuts their toe off, don't they?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, to get their shoe into their foot. Yeah, it's proper grip. Yeah, she's like takes her toes off that
doesn't come across much in the Disney.
No. So there's quite a dark side to those.
Right.
That people don't realise. I think that's what it sort of tinkles those bones in me, because I love Napoleonics, and then first of all I was like, and then I thought, and then I was lucky enough to get a reviewer's copy, and I read it, and I was like, yep, I'm going to be doing that. So
yeah, I've not read it. I've not actually read it yet, because I've only just got a copy of it.
It's a lot less swingy than Frostgrave and that as well. So
lot
less dice swingy.
What this?
Yeah.
Some people don't like the D20, do they?
Yeah. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, because I come from a role playing sort of game. So the D20 doesn't seem like any problem, but
no, it's like.
But no, I like the combat in Frostgrave, but it can go wild. But the great thing about it is, I think, because it is so wild, if you're in a hopeless situation, sometimes it can dig you out of a real hole if you get a lucky 20. I know it's not a good thing to rely on, but
no. But on the reverse, and on the reverse, you might have this uber hero. And the little guy gets a 20, and it's like, good day. And it's like,
I like that. I like the fact that you can't ever be sure of what's going to happen.
Absolutely. I've had many a 13, 14 level character in AD&D slaughtered by bloody stupid innocuous monsters. So it's upsetting, but I got over it when I was 14.
I think it's character building, isn't
it? Yeah. I got over it when I was young. When I was a young lad. But so we are going to draw it to an end, but I am going to ask you one last question.
Oh yeah.
Probably a difficult one for you, but okay. I'm going to ask you, what is your favourite range in the 9-star pantheon of figures? What would you, if you had to say that's the one I want and I can't have anything else, which one would that be? And that's a really tricky question, but if you have to nail it down.
It's not really a range. Can I have cobblestone castings?
I think that's a range.
I'll go for that then.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Because that covers a few sub ranges, doesn't it?
It does. I think we just count it as it is a range within it. So it's a whole.
It's on the sidebar where all the ranges are.
Yes.
So I think that would be a fair one. I could argue that. I think, couldn't I?
I definitely think so.
If I couldn't have that, if I couldn't do all of Mark's stuff, I guess I'd probably go for Frostgrave, because there's just so much in it.
Yeah, no, actually, there's just you could do so much. You can literally build armies out of it. You can build.
Yeah, especially if you count if you count the Ghost Archipelago stuff in as well.
Yeah,
because there's some great stuff in
the
there.
lizard men, all that stuff in there, and the tribal stuff.
Yeah,
Aztec-y looking guys. No, absolutely. You've got everything in one range there that you could do so much with, and that's what I like about Nine Star.
But it'll be interesting to see how the Silver Bayonet range, what happens with that, because there's obviously quite a lot more of that stuff coming.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of monsters coming out for it, so that's quite good. Now, I suspect in true Joe fashion there will be a supplement at some point. So
I'm guessing so. Yeah, I've not heard anything, but I'm guessing there will be. No, I didn't do any photographs for that anyway. So I was going to say I'm not slated to take pictures for it, but the only pictures I've taken are ones for our sort of publicity type stuff, because he didn't have figures in the book. So all the photography I've done that is for use in publicity, really.
Yes,
but yeah, Copperstone. Put me down for all of Copperstone's ranges, please.
Fair enough. The last thing I will say.
Oh yeah.
About Silver Bayonet actually was, I'm still a bit shocked that somehow a game that hadn't even been released was put in for voting for best new system, if by Wargames Illustrated this year.
Was it? I haven't seen the results of that.
Yeah.
What?
Baron's War one, which is really good. Andy Hobday and the guys over at Footsore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
they won their best. But what was shocking was the fact that Stargrave didn't get put in, which had been released, and a game that hadn't been released that nobody had played was put in as a voting. So it'd be interesting to see if.
I don't know how they pick what goes in. Do you know?
I have no idea. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Just I was really shocked when I saw that. I was like, well, I voted for it because I haven't played Baron's War. I haven't played any of the games on there actually, and I just thought that's a bit weird. But yeah, there you go. That's my 10th pence. Wargames Illustrated.
Are the results of it up?
Yeah, they're all out. Sarissa won the best scenery thing again.
I think I saw that because they've been put. Yeah, they're quite good at putting it on their stuff that they won.
That's a 5th year or something like that. Baron's War 1, and I can't remember all the rest of the stuff, to be honest.
I'll go and have a look.
It's all out there. But so we will leave that at the end, and I'd just like to say thanks, Kev, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Matthew, for inviting me. It's been a very entertaining chat, I have to say, one way and another.
I really appreciate it, my friend. And guys, I hope you enjoy this. Hopefully, in the future, we might be able to get you back on, Kev. Get some new stuff to talk about. It sounds like we can both have a good chit chat about anything, to be honest. I like that.
Well, we haven't covered motorcycles yet. So.
All right, there you go. So that's awesome. But yeah, so guys, it's a good afternoon, good morning, or good night, wherever you are in the world. And
good night.
And I'll see you all later. Cheers.
Are we done? That's good.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to turn off this recording.